list. But Your Honor, we're here on status. I see him, Abraham Aguirre, I believe.
Date. If they have one more date, I think we'll be able to.
Okay.
I don't see him. Your
No,
Honor.
it's him. He is not connected.
I
didn't
just
see him.
spoke with him, Your Honor, and he agreed that we should take the matter off call. The parties are, they've already settled their child support and visitation, and this was a status call to check up on his child support payments. To
Okay.
my best of my knowledge, he has been compliant, and I've instructed my client that if there's any issues with further child support or visitation, that we can always motion the matter up again before Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Just send me an order, matter off call.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
You as well. All right. Who's next?
Your Honor, Felicitas Islas is here on a return for emergency order of protection out of 555 West Harrison.
Yes. Okay. And where is she?
She's in the call. Felicitas?
Aquí estoy, ¿no me ve?
There, Your Honor. She's
Okay.
Spanish speaker.
All right. Well, I have to get someone Spanish speaking in here.
Your Honor, I'm here. If you need assistance, I'll be happy to.
Thank you, Ms. Sandoval. Okay. What's her name, ma'am? What's her name again?
Felicitas, I think.
Please.
Felicitas.
Yeah. Good morning, ma'am.
Buenos días, señora.
Buenos días.
Okay.
Good
Do you know
morning,
whether or
ma'am.
not who do you have the order of protection against?
¿Contra quién es la orden de protección, señora?
Contra el papá de mis hijas.
The father of my daughters.
Lucio
Okay.
Baños Islas.
Okay.
¿Cómo
Do you
se
know
llama?
what?
Lucio Baños Islas.
Lucio Baños Islas is the name.
Okay. Do you know whether or not he was served with the order of protection?
¿Sabe usted si fue notificado formalmente con la orden de protección?
Me parece que todavía no. No sé, no estoy segura.
I think he may not have. I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right. Tell her I'm going to put her in with my coordinator. And I believe she speaks Spanish also, to find out whether or not he was served. He was not served. We're going to extend the order of protection so that he can be served.
So, la van a mandar a una sala, ahí mismo, a otra pantalla donde va a hablar con la coordinadora del juez para que investigue si hay notificación o no. Si no hay notificación, entonces solamente le van a extender la orden hoy para permitir que le puedan notificar.
Okay.
¿Ok? O sea, apresure que entre cuando la inviten a entrar a la próxima sala.
Okay.
Okay.
Your
So,
Honor,
Miss-
if I may, I'm the advocate. There is no service according to the system, just to let you
Okay.
know.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to put you in with the coordinator. She has to contact Natalie Silva to draft an order extending the order of protection for 21 days.
Thank you, Your
But
Honor.
she has to have him served.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
All right. All
Thank
right. I'll
you.
put you in now. Thank you, Ms. Sandoval.
You're welcome.
Okay. Are you ready, Ms. Sandoval?
I'm not sure whether my opposing counsel is here. Is anybody on the Rodriguez matter?
Okay. doesn't
I
seem like-
didn't see him yet.
Okay. All right. We'll wait.
I'll wait for a little while. Is there a motion to withdraw? So,
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Who's ready? Who's next?
Good evening, Your Honor. For the record, my name is
morning.
Charles W. Siegel.
Yes.
I'm here with Mr. Cohen and Ms. Harvey. This is
Okay.
the matter of Doherty versus Burke. We were last in front of you on an emergency motion. You sent us out to Judge Shapiro for a hearing. When we were in front of Judge Shapiro, we agreed to have a pretrial. A pretrial was conducted, and we're just here today to report to you.
Okay. Counsel.
Mr. Siegel is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So somebody give me a report.
So we're going to continue on with the supervised parenting time for some time. We need to get through with the SoberLink and the drug testing and hair follicle. So that's really what we're trying to do. Having a hard time finding supervisors that will supervise, but Declan supervised this weekend, the dad, and that's where we're at. So
Okay.
So, Your Honor, may I speak to this just briefly?
Sure.
The reason the father supervised is because my client does not have the ability to pay for supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
I first arranged my regulars and they were too expensive for her. I then moved on to less expensive supervisors, but it wasn't as seamless with them as it is with my regular supervisors.
Sure.
So now, Mr. Doherty is kind enough to be acting as a supervisor for the child, and then my client's other son, they all get together. So I really do appreciate that. But at some point, I need to address the situation about supervision and my client's inability to pay for the cost.
Okay. Okay.
well, she's also started a second level not intensive outpatient, yes, IOP program with Lutheran Services. And so what ends up happening is she goes 3 days a week for 3 hours. And so this just started too, so it's impeding her ability to work. But I did also suggest to her that we could hire a supervisor on care.com, because I've done that on another case where my client has a traumatic brain injury. And so we needed a supervisor, and we found one on care.com for $15 an hour. So mom went on care.com and did that, but she didn't tell the supervisors what was happening, that they weren't coming to babysit the 5-year-old, they were coming to essentially babysit her. So then I reached out to the sitter. I said, do you know what you're going to be doing? And they said, no, we're not interested. So all mom needs to do is put this out there at the beginning, because there's plenty of care.com profiles out there that she can do. And I don't know why she won't do that, but then she can have a sitter for $15 an hour, $20 an hour. And this is what they do. All we need to do is make sure that mom's not drinking, not doing any drugs, and is not talking about the father in front of the child. That's it.
Okay. So, Mr. Cohen, you need to explain that to your client.
She's on this morning, Your Honor. I'm sure she heard every word of it.
Okay. All right. So you guys need some time. All right.
Yes.
So why don't we do this? I'll put you in and get a 45-day status with my coordinator. All right.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, counselors. Everybody have a good day.
Can I stay because I have another case with Jenny Jeltis?
Okay. Sure.
I was saying it
Okay.
phonetically, sorry.
Ms. Jeltis,
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
good morning. Okay, what is the name of this case?
Oh, okay. This is Basan Kalia, and I have my client here as well. Do you need a case number?
No, just
Okay.
what's going on with the case?
Okay, Your Honor, we were actually set for prove-up before Judge Shapiro last week. The parties are very, very close to having a signed settlement agreement. The reason why we didn't prove up is because we have a couple outstanding issues. Counsel and I have exchanged numerous emails trying to settle the remaining issues. I believe that we cannot reach an agreement without the assistance of the court or, brief conversation. The issues are the tax exemption child care credit being alternated each year. My client wants to have that alternated. He provides all of the financial support currently. He will be providing partial, with her providing financial support when she becomes licensed as a dentist. They believe that she should be able to claim the credit every year. So we are stuck on that issue. And we both have our arguments in support of that either way. And then also the other remaining issue, Your Honor, is inventory of the party's jewelry. And in this case, it's a pretty significant amount of jewelry, and it's based on the party's wedding. There's some cultural significance tied to it, because my client believes a lot of this belongs to his family. And we have been trying to determine what belongs to whom. I sent a detailed list, so we can't get that sorted out either.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, Carl's not here. So why don't you guys do this? Get a status date at least a week out so he can be here, so we can set a pretrial date and we can start trying to hash these things out. Okay?
Okay, Your Honor. So we can't set the pretrial today.
Right, Carl, like I say, Carl's not here. Carl is the only
Okay.
person who set the pretrial dates. I don't have his book. Okay, so I'm gonna put
Okay.
you in with Olga to get a short status date to set a pretrial date.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. James
Good morning.
Podgorny.
Yes,
This is in re the marriage of Daly, 2020 D 8690.
yes.
I'm not sure if I saw my opposing counsel online there.
Who's your opposing counsel?
Cowell, Cowell.
No, he's not here yet.
And then we also had a third-party defendant who has counsel. And my apologies, I forget that gentleman's name. But it was-
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Day on behalf of Patricia
Good
Daly.
morning. Dig it.
My apologies.
All right, so we're waiting for Mr. Cowell.
It appears that way. I'll reach out to him, Judge, and I'll sign back on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, who's next?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Are we
morning.
ready, I think, on the matter of Velasquez and Rodriguez?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We'll make sure that you have your email address.
Counsel Daniel Gonzalez is here on behalf of the petitioner.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez.
Your Honor, I'm here on our motion to withdraw as counsel.
Okay, is your client here?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. We asked her to be here, but I don't see her.
Okay, what time was the case up?
The 9:30.
9:30. All right, is she aware that you're appearing, obviously? What was her position as far as your withdrawal?
My understanding is that she doesn't have an objection to it.
Okay. All right, it was up at 9:30. It's now 9:46. So I'm going to grant your motion withdraw, draft a 21-day order. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Sandoval, did you have any objection?
No, I do not.
Okay. 21-day order, 30-day status. I'll put you in with coordinator. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, who's next?
Your Honor, here.
Yes.
I'm here on the 2020 D079250 case with Mr. Terrazas. I'm just trying to see if I can get a 30-day continuance for this case. He barely served me with this his motion that he had put for the courts yesterday, so I would like some more time to respond to this.
Okay, well, first of all, do either of you have lawyers?
No, we don't.
Okay. And what did he serve you with?
He served me with the motion for I guess he's trying to change parenting time, financial. He says that there's been financial and unemployment and changes of schedule.
Okay.
He's trying to. I'm not really sure, but we had a continuance already for last court day that we saw you. He didn't show up, and he had not been paying child support for 5 months already, so he wants to modify that too, I guess. I'm not really sure.
Okay, is he here? I don't see Terrell.
I'm not sure if he's here yet.
Okay. What time was the case?
It was at 9:45.
Okay, we have to get him till 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock, step back up.
Okay, thank
Right.
you.
All right, who's next?
How you doing, Judge?
Good. How are you, Mr.
All right. My
Monteith?
name is Cal. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I didn't know exactly what time that I was supposed to have court today. I was trying to find out what time, and I was trying to let you know that
then let's back up. What type of case is this? Do you know?
this is
State case?
it's a state case, child support. Okay. It's actually the state reaching out. It's not even the mother because the children aren't mine. So she dropped me on her own.
Okay.
And the state is motioning me to come back to court today.
Okay. Have you contacted the state? Been in contact with them?
No, sir. I've been trying to get in contact with her. I went down to the courthouse. I filed my response and everything is why I'm here today because I got a summons. And I just trying to be where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. Now, on the letter that they sent you, there's a phone number. Have you tried calling that phone number?
Yes, I have. And when I do call that number, I'm not getting no one. I'm just getting a voicemail. I didn't left voicemails. I haven't got no return calls.
Okay. Continue to do just that. Okay. I'll make sure that you leave a message. Okay. With a
Okay.
phone number. They'll get back to you eventually.
Okay. So that do that until
they tell you whether or not.
Court today.
Exactly. Well, I understand. But do that until they tell you you need to come see me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. So I could just
No
sign
problem.
off and keep calling these people until they respond to me.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. Who's next?
Hi, Your Honor.
Yes.
My name is Mia Gregg. Like the last person, I called, no response.
Okay.
I had the wrong Zoom link.
This is with the State's Attorney's Office, correct?
With the domestic relations. I'm here for the Sepulveda and Greg case.
But you said like the last person, you're calling the State's Attorney's Office. Is that correct?
The Daily Center, where this was filed.
Okay, but you said you were calling someone. Who were you calling, ma'am?
I was trying to call to see, like, I was calling the domestic relations unit to find the link because I had the wrong link. My court date was.
Yeah, excuse me, Judge. I'm in another room. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's the other side. Just wanted to inform you if she could wait for me. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Gregg, just mute yourself. We'll wait for Mr. Martinez to appear. Okay? All right. All right, who's next?
Judge,
Morning,
it looks like everyone's here on Hernandez and Cavado. Angela Wong and Mark Emilski are here.
Okay.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, what's happening on this case?
We're set for status today. The parties are on a temporary trial parenting plan schedule where dad has primary custody of the minor child. That is going to remain in place through the month of May until the child is done with school. I think no matter what, we would like to, if possible, a status date in early June, right after school ends, to gauge whether this temporary schedule will be transferred into a permanent schedule, or if we are going to be proceeding on a petition for relocation, because mom is remarried and her current husband resides in Sterling, Illinois. Prior to proceeding on that relocation, Judge, this was a complete out of nowhere agreement of the parties to proceed on this temporary trial plan. And my last conversation with my client, she was open to converting this to a permanent plan as long as there were no issues. I have not been advised of any issues right now, but it just started. So I don't anticipate there to have been any major issues yet. So I don't know if you've heard anything, Colleen or counsel.
I haven't. Things have been, I just talked to my client yesterday. He advises things are, going fine. Out under the current temporary schedule. And if your client is, on board with making it permanent, we can send it for status for entry of a final parenting plan. So
okay,
I know he would be open for that.
All right. So why don't we do this? Get like 30-day status? Oh, no, you want it sometime in June, after June 1st.
Correct. Early June, because I believe school ends at the end of May.
Okay. All right. I'll put you in with coordinating.
Oh, right. We'll get it from Carl. Okay.
Olga.
Thank you, Judge.
Carl's not here today. Thank you.
Okay,
Everybody have
thank
a
you,
good day.
Judge.
Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I'm here on Diven 13D 5063, and I think I see the opposing counsel here. I don't know if whether they are.
Morning, Judge Michael Bender, Guardian 11.
Yes. Good morning. Who are we missing?
Nope, Paige Goldberg and Joe Napoli on behalf of Rebecca.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what's happening on this case?
So, Your Honor, I think we're here for status. Ms. Furlet was ordered to participate in therapeutic visitation with Wen Waldman back in March. I don't believe that any of this visitation has occurred. The therapeutic visitation has occurred. My client indicated to Ms. Waldman that he's available whenever, if she needs something from him. She communicated to him briefly, nothing requiring him to do anything, but just kind of giving him an idea of the process. But she hadn't communicated to him that she had heard from Ms. Furlet. So I don't know what, if any, effort Ms. Furlet is making to try and participate in a therapeutic visitation. So we're here for status on that. We're also here for setting hearing dates.
Okay, well, we won't be able to do that because Carl's not here. Ms. Goldberg?
Sure. So, Your Honor, we actually have been in contact with Ms. Waldman. I'm not sure in terms of how much Dad has communicated with her, but she sent an order regarding she has specific terms and conditions that needs to be signed by both parties in order for reunification therapy to occur. She did send that. My client has reached out to Dad directly to see if his insurance covers Miss Waldman's therapy. It's $240 per session. My client's insurance does not cover it. She's of extremely nominal means. She doesn't have the funds to go ahead and proceed on this, absent it being covered by some portion of Dad's insurance. And we haven't heard back, and there's no order regarding contribution. So that's the delay currently in reunification therapy. Although based on, in terms of status we did receive correspondence from council on Friday of last week where we should have an agreement to begin overnight parenting. So to the extent that I would like for reunification therapy to move forward, but I think that there's an agreement that overnight parenting time should start occurring, and we should get that started as soon as possible.
Well, how can they be moving toward reunification therapy? And you're talking about overnights already. Mr. Bender? How does that make sense?
I spoke to the child again last night. I would not be recommending overnights. There needs to be a reunification. And all the attorneys have reached out to Gwen. Apparently, it sounds like the parties have. I know it hasn't occurred because I spoke to the child, and I guess that's the tie-up is they're trying to figure out finances, but the child does not want overnights. The child, on his own, last time I talked to him, not yesterday, but maybe 2 weeks ago, said to me, on his own, I'm going to call mom and I want to see how an overnight goes. I want to see if it's okay or not. So I said, okay, well, let me know what happens. So I talked to him today, and mother's reaction was one that I'll give you specifically. The mother said, I don't believe you. I think you're trying to trap me and get me in trouble. And then caused him a lot of grief for about a week. He, as of last night, doesn't want overnights. I raised the issue with him about there's a family member who's doing the supervision. And I gently raised the issue with him of, do we need him? And he said he was terrified to do it without the supervisor. And it's not a physical abuse. It's an explosion that mom has, a rant that she goes into, and it's in the past caused him to attempt to hurt himself in mom's care. So I wouldn't be recommending anything other than the reunification. And as I explained to mom, she's not hearing him, and he has things he wants to say, but there's no reason for me to tell you that I'd be comfortable with there being overnights, and the child would tell you that he doesn't want them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
all right.
If I may, just really briefly, Your Honor, Mike, one of the things that my client discussed with Ms. Walt, with the therapist, was the finances, and the therapist communicated to him that she accepts no insurance. So the GAL, I think back when the discussion of therapeutic visitation had originated, discussed a therapist that was not Ms. Waldman, but who may accept insurance. So the therapist, Ms. Waldman, is actually was a suggestion by Ms. Furlet. So I don't know why it is that she's suggesting the therapist, but then not apparently, able to kind of contribute to her own reunification therapy at this point. It seems kind of absurd.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, what we need to do is get moving on the therapeutic therapy or parenting time. So, Mr. Bender, I need for you to reach out and find someone that's affordable to both these parties so we can get started on this.
I will do that, Judge.
Okay.
If they want to use insurance, I just have to get I'm just telling the attorneys, I know you know this, Judge. I just need to get names from
whoever's in network
covered so I could research them.
Right. Yes, Ms. Goldberg.
So just also to briefly touch on, I think location is a big thing. My client doesn't have a car, and the last reunification therapist suggested was in Schaumburg. So for her to get herself and the child to reunification therapy would have been very difficult for her. But I did want to just touch on a couple things that Mr. Bender said. We have text messages from the minor child begging his mom for overnight, saying, "Mom, I love you. I can't wait for an overnight soon." I have the supervisor who called me just last week saying the minor child's asking for overnights. We have correspondence from opposing counsel saying that dad is okay with overnights occurring. I guess I'm
Okay,
just.
Mr. Napoli, are you sharing the screen? Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yes, Judge, I was trying to share, to show some of the messages where the child is practically begging his mom for time. And I think it just provides, it illuminates a little bit of the relationship.
Right. Well, I don't need to see that right now. What I want is to have this reunification therapy moving. So you need to get the information to Mr. Bender, whoever's in network, so we can start this.
Could we clarify, Judge, the in-network would be for both parents? In other words, both would try and see.
Exactly.
And then if whatever's left over, I think a proration amount would be appropriate. If mom earns, $25,000 a year,
in proportion
over 100.
That's fine.
Yeah, can I object to that? I don't know why my client should be shouldering the burden of paying for her reunification therapy. Are we discussing that today? Because ultimately, Your Honor, I think this is she's the one who's put herself in this position. Okay, I think everybody more or less agrees with that. Why is my client having to shoulder this burden? He has been very great, generous with respect to trying to facilitate, the supervised visitation, picking the child up and dropping him off whenever that's, she's has her vehicle's unavailable or what have you. So this is just kind of, it's unconscionable for him to have to shoulder this burden.
Okay. Your objection is noted, Mr. Neela, and they will pay a proportion to their incomes. So, Mr. Bender, get a 30-day status. Let's find therapists so we can get this case moving.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to put you in the coordinator now. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Judge.
Hold on 1 second.
Judge, regarding
Hold on. Hold on 1 second. All right, Olga, go ahead.
Regarding that order of protection with William, regarding the order of protection with Williams, he was not served.
Okay, he wasn't served, so therefore you have to extend the order of protection, have him contact Natalie, get a 21-day status extending the order of protection so that she drafts a disposition order. Okay?
Okay. And Terraza's still waiting in the break room. Okay, thank you.
You broke up. I didn't hear you. Okay. All right, who's next?
I believe everyone's here.
Okay.
Sorry, on the
Mr. Simmons.
Terrazas. Good morning. I believe everyone's here on the Terrazas and Aragon matter.
Yeah, Miss Kristen Terraza.